when you all are selling a newsletter inclusion, an ad, and so it's like, okay, we want to put this in. It's a big, image or whatever. Sometimes you're looking at it like, well, that's not going to work. We know this works. We know this doesn't work. This type
Mhm.
of copy works. This doesn't work. So if somebody's out there like, all right, I'm going to try paid newsletter, email newsletter sponsorships. What is the content format or what is the ad
Mhm.
that's going to do the best that people should be using?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's clear, and the industry, it's clear at this point that it's text plus image, but it's written text, hard HTML5, just implanted in the newsletter as content with everything else. You have links in there, but you make the links specifically clickable. It's not the whole image that's clickable, and it blends in with the rest of the content. And, I think viewers in any medium, whether it's TV or online, are just sort of trained at this point to tune out ads, and that includes banner ads. But when you're reading something from a trusted voice and they're then pitching you a product or service that's relevant to the content that they're already producing and relevant to you as an audience, you're much more likely to engage with that. And we've seen tremendous results with that type of formatting.
So, okay, I get a lot of newsletters where it's coming from like a person, like a personal brand person. Maybe they're
Mhm.
an expert on AI, on marketing, whatever, and they have a huge following, and they got a newsletter, right?
Mhm.
And then I open up the newsletter, and in that newsletter, it's this like quasi endorsement style ad, like,
Mhm.
"Hey, by the way, this is what I use. This is my favorite thing, whatever, and you got to check them out." And blah 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 blah. But it says, this is a sponsored ad, whatever. Does that do particularly well? Like if you're on the hunt for the right newsletter to sponsor, should
Mhm.
you be looking like for something from a personal brand or something that's more generic, like a publisher brand? Which one does better?
I mean, I think there are merits to both. Like, and again, it depends on your objective, right? It depends on what type of product you're selling, what sort of service you're selling. I think the benefit overall, and this is sort of what we're getting at with using text and having just a runway, is storytelling, right? The ability to make a pitch, whether it's in 40 words, 75 words, 100 words, but certainly more than just an image, to explain at least a little bit of your value proposition. And then depending on like how narrow your audience is, like of course, it's always great to have like a respected voice like a Jay Schwedelson come out, write something positive about your product because it's also relevant to what they're doing, right? If you're selling a wellness product, you love to have Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Daily Pump basically pitch that product as something that, he endorses, right? There's just credibility there, and I think credibility in any form of advertising is going to be more effective than just simply running an ad wherever.